Where you grew up, were there even examples of women you knew who didn't have kids?
You know what there was? There were those stories of that one aunt or that one person, and it was always said in a sad way, like there must be something wrong, and implied that she was like a boring spinster who was grumpy and just in a bad mood most of the time, which frustrates me even thinking about that. But those were the only examples mentioned, and that was just on the periphery. No one right in front of me was like a working professional married woman without kids. I never thought about getting married and having kids, and whenever it did come up, I kind of thought, oh, well, that's something that I'll feel later on. It'll have to just dawn on me, like some epiphany, and I'll have my moment. I just never felt it to the point where I really felt othered. I remember even going to an OBGYN when I was like 18 or 19 and asking, how do you know when you should want to have kids? This is a doctor. Okay, I should have been in a psychologist's office. But she pitied me and said, I don't think it works like that. It's a decision. You have to make what's right for you. But I was so struggling with feeling like I didn't belong. But I also know myself well enough that I felt that thing. I keep going like this because I could feel it in my chest. I definitely had those moments where I was like, God, it would just be easier to just go with this and just do it. They say no one's ever ready. Okay, so maybe that's what this is. Let me just make it happen and at least put all the thinking about it to rest. But you know what? Like, even that speaks to the amount of pressure and otherness that people feel, that they would even toy with that to take the air out of the problem, sadly. I did confide in my husband, and it was such a burden to get off my chest just to say it. And I didn't say no, absolutely not. I just said, I don't think this is my story. And so I was scared. And he said, I feel the exact same way. I doubted him for a really long time. I even got into the point where I was negotiating with him for something he didn't want himself. Like, for all the grace and acceptance he gave me about how I feel about it, I didn't actually give so much of that back to him. I just assumed he wasn't being genuine, but he was. You know, luckily, I believe him, and he believes me when we say, no, I actually wouldn't want it any other way. Like, flaws, challenges, and all. Like, this is how our story was meant to go.